Happy Friday, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining today. We are talking about growing your brand with TV. So I'm excited to be here. I am Lachelle, also known as America's Supermom, mother of 15 children, and I'm excited to be here as a TV producer. I am talking to a new TV producer on my micro network, Keep It Real TV. It's been a minute since I've been on. Life has been happening in the background, like meeting amazing people, like my co host today, Erica. I'm so excited to have this conversation. I have been on several calls over the last few days because there's so much I don't know, what do I want to say? Energy around a lot of changes happening in our world, in media, in just people's everyday life. And so being able to respond to the pulse is kind of what media is about. I am one that I have shared oftentimes on many platforms that I no longer watch the news. It's been about 8 years that I've watched the news. However, there is that overflow that comes to me, whether it's on social media, my children, my husband, family members, they keep me informed about what's happening. So that's one of the things that I enjoy about being a producer is that I can narrate a lot of things from the energy that I desire to have. Things are going to happen. We're going to have ups and downs, twists and turns. I know a lot about that as a mother of 15 children, but I have learned that it also is important how you choose to respond to these things. Responding from a place of confidence, of strength, of empathy, compassion. There's so many different vantage points that we could take with some of this news that's going on out there. But that's for a whole nother session. We're excited to be here today to announce a new show that's going to be coming to Keep It Real TV. We're going to have a launch, and we just got a lot that we're trying to wrap into a few days, right? But before we get into all that, I want to yield the mic to you, Erica, for you to introduce yourself and tell me how you doing, girl. We can ready go into March tomorrow.
Yes, yes. And it's International Women's Month, right?
Yes.
Women's History Month,
Hmm.
starting next month, March. And I'm so happy to be a part of history with beginning my micro channel during March. So the launch is March 15th. But let me introduce myself. I am Erica Kesse. I'm a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life. I'm a multifaceted leader and mommy. I have a lot of things that I enjoy doing. But I really love working with leaders, scaling entrepreneurs and CEOs, those who may be experiencing imposter syndrome and burnout, so that we can knock out those mental blocks and they can get to have structure and organization in their lives and they feel centered and thriving. So the name of my micro channel is Try on Thriving TV.
I love that. And so I love what you're doing because I think, sometimes I'm just speaking from my own journey. I was a high achiever. It was hard for me to ask for help. I felt it
Mm-hmm.
was a sign of weakness. And I love what you're doing because, we have to learn how to lighten our load and work more efficiently, right? And for longer periods of time. So, like, for example, if you have a business, you could call on maybe 10 clients, but doing that every day over time, it takes a lot of energy. So if you learn how to spread that out, doing different things, it can make it where you can consistently do it over time. So my first question is, what made you want to extend what you're doing to television? How did that even begin to be a thing?
I was sitting in a one of my we do practicums and internships. So I was sitting in one of my internships. Now I was a glutton for doing a lot then too. So I had 3 internship sites and working 3 jobs at the same time. So at one of
Wow.
the ones was it was a women's center where I was providing therapy as an intern there. And I was just in the, in the break room area doing my notes or whatever, just being me.
Mm-hmm.
And one lady said to me, "You know what? If you had a TV show, I would watch you like every day." And I go, "Really? Okay." Now, I'm a very animated person, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very big, bubbly personality, but I'll have to say that it all came from the conditioning that I had as a child, growing up knowing and esteeming my mother and kind of being her chief operating officer, her right hand person in her life, watching for her, making sure that she was good and making sure that my brother and my sister was safe and content, even from her. And so, really able to highlight other people, and still feel very comfortable and sure and confident in myself by highlighting other people. And that's what my show is about: bringing people, especially introverted women business owners who have a hard time shining their light. I want to give you a bit of my spotlight and come on
Mm-hmm.
over to the show and share all about yourself. Cannot wait to have you come and share about your business, yourself, your brand, and how you thrive.
I love that, and the thing that's coming up is because for me, and just hearing what you say is, how do you get people to trust you and to be vulnerable about some of these things? I struggled with that for years, to the point that it took me to 13 years of depression, because I was trying to be perfect and I felt like, oh, I can't tell them what's really going on. They're going to, think less of me, or, you know, um, just all these things. Like I said, they're going on in my own head and people aren't even talking about them. So when you're in a space to where, people sometimes don't even feel comfortable talking about it, but then being on TV, how do you get people to trust you to be vulnerable?
I, you know, I think it is a gift. People just seem to tell me
Mhm.
they all their business. I've never had a problem with getting down to the core of the thing, uh,
Mhm.
and talking about the things that are coming up for me. Maybe because they can feel and sense that I'm not judging anything they say.
Yeah.
Maybe because, you know what? Maybe because, you know, as I was my mother's confidant. I was her therapist. I would listen to her. I had no power, but I was just there holding space for her. And
Mm.
I really know how to do that. That's a skill. I actually have a book
Mhm.
called 100 Unique Counseling Skills. And one of the skills that's going to be coming out actually in April, is holding space, because I'm doing a new edition and adding that one in. So
Amen.
holding space really does. It's just I'm putting the book that is me up on the shelf, and
Mm.
deciding to allow myself to really understand and investigate the person that's in front of me. So very curious, very like
Mm.
right and present. I think a lot of people are not present with individuals as they're engaging. So if
Yes.
you have a captive audience, then
Yeah.
you don't have a problem sharing what. I just don't have a problem with getting people to tell me.
I love that. And I agree, it is a gift. And
It
I
is a
agree.
gift, and that's why I call myself the therapeutic COO, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. So,
Mhm.
and also a business execution coach. So I want to break free those
I
blocks
love it.
so that then people can move. Move and
Yeah.
go to where they want to go. But you got to break those blocks and that survivor mind. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that is what it is, and I know that a lot of introverts like me because I
Mhm.
feel like I'm an introvert whisperer. Maybe I'll be your wing woman
Mm.
while you come to my show, and I'll know all about you. And just in case things get a little frazzled for you, I will be able to throw you the ball so you can make that hoop.
I love that. I love that. And I think, one of the things that really stood out with what you said is, you're able to hold space for people. I think that is so important because that's really how we help people to heal. They have to learn on their own. I'm over here dealing with the weight going up and down. I mean, I've known that life a lot with being pregnant so many times. And nobody can go to the gym for me, girl. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could just delegate that, but it just ain't happening. So when you're able to hold space for people, they're able to see what exactly they need to do in order for them to change their narrative or trajectory. So I really, really resonate with that. Now, so tell us more about your show, the vision, what type of people can be on it. Is it only the people that you're coaching? I don't know. I have 1,000 questions, girl. I'm like a curious cat.
And I
Okay.
got 1,000 answers. I have 1,000 answers.
I
Okay.
love it. I love it.
Okay, so my vision does not change for all my endeavors. I'm
Amen.
always going towards the vision. What is the vision? I will love and like, and for my business, I say we will love and like
Hmm.
ourselves so authentically and thoroughly that we overflow onto those who come to be a part of our ecosystem.
Mm.
So people are attracted to me and what I'm doing, and how I'm sharing my life, and how bold I am about all the things that I'm doing, and they're in awe, and then they want to learn, how do you do all
Mhm.
this? I get people ask me all the time how, and I'm like, I put it on the calendar. Like, but it takes discipline. It takes
Mhm.
um prioritizing things. It takes using structure, but I have that type of mind.
Yes.
I can take a vision, and then I can set it up and bring it down to earth. That's why I operate as a COO. I
Mhm.
love the steps. The steps are a part of the beautiful journey to get there. So that's my vision. And my
Mm.
mission for this show is to truly highlight introverted individuals, especially ladies who are feeling imposter syndrome, and they know they should be out there telling the world about their businesses. How are you going to successfully share if you do not put yourself out there? And so I
Mhm.
want to provide them a safe space for that. Um,
Mhm.
and so that then they're also enhanced.
I
Now,
love.
so I'm going to have packages for people who are not ready for the TV, because I do have a
Mm.
podcast, and I do
Mhm.
have a coaching program that will walk you to the point where you can get on the TV, on the
Mm.
my show.
Mhm.
So you can either go straight there because you're ready, or we can walk you there. And I love cultivating and developing people to be able to do what they actually want to do, even though the fears are there and they are second guessing themselves.
I love that. And I love the fact that you have the big picture in mind, and for a lot of people, I think we can resonate with, oh my gosh, I have this goal and I really believe it. I see it, but you said the steps, right? Breaking it down and being able to see those steps and taking them. What advice would you give to people? Because, it's March, well, it's February 28th, but March is tomorrow, and people are having these big goals that they want to accomplish in 2025. They are tired of 2024, so much so that they want to dream big, they want to live big, they want to act big. But, by the end of March, they've lost their momentum. So, what advice would you give them to stay focused and keep that momentum going for the whole year?
Celebrate.
That's good.
That's all I got. If you just stop and celebrate everything that has happened that went well, if you stop
Mhm.
and celebrate that you woke up this morning,
Amen.
Lord, don't get me started, and you started yourself on your way, okay? You are
Amen.
breathing. You are you are loved, right? If you
Mhm.
just celebrate, you had some wins, right?
Mhm.
If that people, that's part of what I do. So I have a quarterly webinar that I do called uh, keep your KPIs on track, right?
Okay.
Yes, because I'm a COO. So I do that quarterly webinar. And the first thing we do is celebrate what you were able to accomplish, because you
Amen.
did accomplish some things. People forget that. And
Mhm.
usually when I get them to start thinking about one thing, and then something else shows up, and then this happened, and oh wow, and this happened, and then they could actually get some clarity around themselves in
Mhm.
order to say, okay, let me do more of what went well.
Amen. I
That's what
love
I
that.
can do more of, right?
Yeah,
And
well, and I think also with that, it's different energy. If you're feeling
big,
like you didn't accomplish your job and you're weighed down, you could start seeing all the negative things. But if you're celebrating, it's a different mindset, a different energy. And you're like, man, I did that. I did this. I did that. It's just a different total different transformation of mindset in the blink of an eye.
yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is an energy. So I mean, I listen. It's for me going back as I introduce myself. I'm here to celebrate life. If
Amen.
you should celebrate everything that you're doing on a regular basis. If you can find some time to celebrate. Once I get them to celebrate, it doesn't matter who it is. If I can get them to do gratitude, which is the highest
Mhm.
form of consciousness, and
Mhm.
then I also get them to celebrate what they were able to accomplish, it's like everything else breaks away. They're right there in the
Mhm.
present with me, and they can share themselves, and then they can set
Mhm.
plans for the future. Yeah, that's
I love that.
the best. That's the very first best step to
I
take.
love that.
Mhm.
That
We
is
will be
definitely a
celebrating
great.
on my show, baby. We will be
Hey, that's
celebrating.
good. That's
All right.
good.
I'm thinking about
Now,
getting a pom pom because I like to shake a pom pom. You know, you know.
girl, look, I got some mints. There we go. I love it. But you know what? I
Dance
love
a
that
minute.
because look, you got to be your own. Look, I got a necklace. It's making noise, but you have to sometimes be your own
You
cheerleader.
later.
It's true. I mean, and you're the visionary. So there's going to be things that you have to implement. That's another thing that came to mind when you were talking is, you're speaking to these people and it resonates because you know about their journey. So often people get caught up on social media. They're following people who have a lot of followers or whatever, but there's something that's just a disconnect there. And a lot of times it's because they haven't been in your shoes. They are doing all the things on the outside that look like they've been in your shoes, but
Yep.
they haven't been there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I love
One
that.
thing, one thing that it's about is, and for me, is it's always a personalized experience for each person that I interact with. Everybody has their own way, and
Mhm.
guess what? Your way is your brand. Your way is
Now that we need to write
is
that
the
down.
reason. What you say?
We need to write that down.
We need to
Your
write that
way
down.
is your brand. Girl,
Your
there you go.
way. Your way.
Yes.
Instead of everybody trying to get everybody else's stuff. I'm gonna read this
Mhm.
book and I'm gonna watch this show. And did you hear what this person said? What did you say? What did you write? What did you do?
Mhm. This
How
is
about you
good.
sit still and be with yourself so then you can figure out what you are saying,
Mhm.
right? It's
This is true.
That's one of the main things I do when I work with my clients. It doesn't matter if it's coaching or counseling. I ask them, have you been with yourself? Can you take 15 minutes and just listen to your own voice, your own self,
Mhm.
instead of everybody else and the noise? Okay. It's so much noise going on. Right. And that's what my
Mhm.
show is about, for you to come in and take a moment and see how this person is sharing themselves and they're showing their own thriving journey. And you can
Mhm.
find your own thriving journey people are going to want to align with you based on the authentic you.
I love that. And one of the things that's just coming up as you're talking is, you were saying your way is your brand, learning or showing other people that, what you're doing is extending your brand, right? You already were Erica, the author, the coach, doing all these things. So this is just another platform. And I think that's important. The reason why I say that is because sometimes we have been indoctrinated to believing that, oh, I can just be on this platform and everything else is going to fall into place. But we didn't have a foundation before we got there. And so when you already have things that you're already doing, it's just, you're just getting on another platform. I tell people all the time, it's just like a different microphone.
Yes.
You got a microphone at home, you got a microphone in your car, you got one, on your Facebook or whatever. So it's just a different microphone. But if you wasn't saying nothing, if you weren't doing anything with the microphone you already
How
had,
about you
then you're
wasn't
going to struggle.
consistent? How about you wasn't consistent?
Exactly.
That be the
Exactly.
main problem. You go on there and holler one time and think somebody's supposed to do something. Ain't nobody paying attention to you that one time. You better come. You're going to have to come every day. Okay? You're going to have to come every other day. You're going to
It's
have to.
true. It's true. Well, and even just thinking about when you're holding space, we can say that term, and a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, what does that mean? Well, it's like you have to be trustworthy, right? And that's part of being there consistently.
Listen, let me
People
tell
will
you.
say, I already know where I'm gonna find Erica. Because Erica's here. Erica's on Sundays talking to me about Ruby AI. You know what I'm saying? Or,
But
she's
that's
doing
why
all
I
these
meant,
things. So
because
I
it's
know
on
where
the
to find
calendar.
her.
It's on the calendar.
Do you see what I'm saying though? Yeah, I get that.
You
So we
know,
want that,
people
but we
people
just don't
are.
want to do the work, right? We don't want to do the
Let me
work.
tell you, let's talk about doing the work.
Hmm.
A lot of times, everybody want people to be consistent with them. They want them to be committed to them, but they're
Right.
not consistent and committed to themselves.
Amen. That you didn't say a word. You didn't say a word,
Everybody
girl.
want to see how I'm able to do all I'm able to do because I'm leaping to where I want to go because I know how to set a structure to get there.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
a healthy boss. I'm a
Hmm.
healthy person that people want to be around. Let me give a
Hmm.
shout out to you. Val is in the chat. Valencia is in the chat right now. Hey,
Okay.
Valencia. What
Hey,
I want
Valencia.
what I want to say is I was just talking about you with her earlier today. Yes, I was. I
Amen.
found I found somebody who know how to act. I found somebody, like you said, that's trustworthy.
Yeah,
I
it's
found
true.
somebody who makes me feel safe.
Hmm.
Makes me feel safe instead of me always having to give safety to everybody else.
Yeah, it's
And I was
true.
talking about you, ma'am. Yes, I
Well,
was. Y'all, if
I
y'all
sure
need to get this woman right here, you should. Okay.
praise the Lord. And I just know we gonna be growing and growing together, girl, because you got that energy that's contagious. But you brought up a good point about being able to compliment one another, right? That was a challenge for me for so long. I felt like, well, I don't want them to shine too bright because people gonna forget about me, or they're going to go to her and just step right over me, or people going to take my business and
Mm,
all these different things. So talk to others that may be, and it's going to be Women's History Month, where a lot of
come
people
on.
think, well, women can't work together, because they fussing, they arguing, they jealous of each other. I mean, I could go on and on, as you can see. But for somebody watching, to even be able to compliment somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talk to us about, how do you do that?
Oh. That's just my jam. I you know that's just how I move. I think that everybody just wants to be seen,
Mm.
witnessed. So why not? You can find some reason to speak to someone. For example, I was exhibiting with my business bestie at this Christian conference, and she had a table, and she has a podcast called it's not called By the Well, Lord. Carrie, I want to tell you podcast right. Christian and OCD something. Christian and OCD.
Okay.
Carrie Bock, Bock. Anyway, I'm there, and listen, we had a crowd around when we were exhibiting, because we was out there doing the cha-cha slide. We was out there doing the electric slide, baby. We was out there saying, people walking by, oh, honey, you look good in that red. Whoa. But guess who else learned that? My baby, my 13-year-old. So she be giving compliments left and right and everything. She done ran off and found a whole lot of other people that she was interacting with. They kept giving her all kinds of stuff, okay, at this conference, because it's contagious.
Amen.
When you are just in an energy of like excitement, and you are jubilant and in celebration, people want to be there. I want to tell you another story. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay, I used to live there. I live in Rochester now. Okay. They have this sweet potato ice cream, okay? I went over there. Yes, ma'am. Sweet potato ice cream. It is fine. So
I need to go to Tulsa to get some sweet potato ice cream, girl.
They only have it during Thanksgiving. Let me tell you, okay. Make me so mad they should have it year round. Anyway,
right.
I went over there to the ice cream shop. I'm looking at it. I said, y'all give me some of that, sweet potato ice cream y'all got, because it's so good, right? They said we only have that on, during Thanksgiving. And I was like, what you mean? I done lent all over the counter like, no! I wanted this sweet potato. Listen, by the time I got through doing my whole show, it was a line. A lot of people. It wasn't nobody over there for a while. And here come everybody. Like, we got to join the party.
Right.
We want to be a part of the party. Right. So we all deserve to be a party, and that everybody wants to come to it.
That's good. That's good. I love that.
That's what my show is about. And I have a party for you.
I love it. Amen. I love it. Now, so what would you say for somebody who is, they're a little shy, they feel like, first of all, they don't even know if they are TV valuable, right? Because we tell ourselves this stuff all the time. Oh, I can talk to, my cousins and my friends, but, I don't know if I want to be on TV, I don't know. Am I going to say the wrong thing? What would you say to them?
Okay, so they're shy and they don't know if they should come. I would say, I would tell them this story, especially if they're a business owner. I would say that if you were in the desert and somebody else is in the desert, okay, and they're thirsty, right? And you are the water, would you not give it to them?
Yeah. That's good stuff.
You are the water. They're looking, they're thirsty. You gotta keep telling people about you in however way you can, right? Because people are waiting and wanting you, your way, your energy. People like interacting with introverted people, but they can't, they're gonna have to find you first.
Right. I love that. That's good. And I think a lot of times, we get too much in our own head where it's about the people that we're serving, but we can mess that up because we're like, well, I don't have the right outfit on. These earrings, they might not match, or, I don't have the right lighting. I mean, it's like, it's so self-centered. I mean, I'm only speaking this because I went through that, right? And when you learn that, first of all, it's the message. Ain't nobody thinking about what earrings you got on. Look, I done seen people later on. I'm looking and I'm like, I don't think they have the same earring on. One is this and that, but
I did a whole show with one earring on. Honey, was just about this one ear like this.
It's true, because the things that we think people are looking at, they are not even thinking about. Okay, girl, They're not thinking about none of that.
No, it's about the message. It's about the message. It's not about you. You're here to share the message. That's it. But you know, a lot of this, and let me just say this. If you come to me and I recognize that your business is a trauma business, a trauma business means you created it out of your own trauma and you have not started working on that and you want to help people, then we're going to have to talk, because we're going to have to bring you out of that, because you're going to do harm to people trying to help somebody instead of partnering with people on their journey to get to where they need to go.
I love it, girl. You know, I had this quote that I learned. We have to learn to speak from our scars instead of our wounds.
Come on.
Right? So I think that is so true. And a lot of times, you know, we just get on a platform, you know, and when you're not in a space where you could hold space for people, you are turning the knife and then leaving them there to bleed.
Right there. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I love that. So
right there. A lot of people
you're gonna be taking a road trip.
What'd you say?
I said you're gonna be taking a road trip. You're doing some filming coming up. So tell us about that.
Okay, yes. I'm going to Chicago. Yes, I am. So I have a couple people who I'm going to interview in person. This will be my first time doing in-person interview. I'm so excited about it. Of course, this is a business endeavor. So I'm investing in, you know, a director of photography, getting a place, and having some people who have following to join in and do the first couple episodes, so my brand and everything looks like people are going to want to pay my promo packages. And so that's what I am doing. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about going to Chicago. I went to Chicago one time. It was like a drive in, drive out kind of circumstance, right? But this time I'm staying. I'm staying for about 3 weeks. And doing a lot of different things there. I'm excited because actually my COO lives there. Eternity Sledge is there, and she has her whole family there. She's curating experiences and things like that there. But I will be recording, and I'm so excited. So I am looking for a one more lady to do this with me. Now this one. And I said, this is a once in a lifetime situation, because everybody else is going to have to pay. So you better let me know if you're in Chicago and you want me to interview you to be one of my first shows. I'll be happy to do it. You just got to show up and be interviewed. Everybody else, you're going to have to pay, because this is, you know, this show is, once you record, you'll be on there for a year, right? And so you're going to get publicity for a year on my micro channel. So it's very valuable. And
I love it.
Yeah. So we'll love to have someone. Yeah.
Yeah. People need to get in where they fit in. You know what I mean? And it's like,
somebody said to me, this is free. Boop, 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 boop. A lot of folks be acting like free ain't cute, but free is for me. All right.
Well, you know, and speaking of free, I'm just saying there's so many things that we could do that have value, you know, and I do want to shout you out, because the other day you wrote me a wonderful recommendation on LinkedIn. It doesn't cost anything.
I feel compelled to. But you know, a lot of folks don't do that, though. You got to ask them. Exactly. Like, what? Okay, I done gave you all this. I done gave you all this value set up with you and worked on it, and you don't think in your mind, but that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
People just don't think like me. I just know that when somebody gives to me freely of their time and their energy and set me back up to go keep on soaring high, I'm going to make sure I let the world know they did that for me, period.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we have to learn and break out of that conditioning. Because again, like I said, I suffered from that for years. You know, it was like,
I'm glad I met you now.
Because I'm glad
I met you now. Because I would have been like, and we're about my business. I would have been like,
But you know what I'm saying? Look, look, God had to humble me, girl. Okay, I had to be humbled. Okay, so I'm just
Oh,
saying,
okay.
I
Well,
learned that lesson
I'm
well.
glad he got
Okay,
you. Okay, glad he got you.
he had to sit me down. There's a scripture: pride comes before the fall. Girl, I was falling all over the place. But anyway, so the point that I want to say is, we have to learn how to understand that, visibility, right? You're visible when you are doing these things for other people, as well as it's visibility for them.
Speak,
This is something
speak.
to learn, even with why
It's
would people want to be on your show if you can't help other people be visible? You see what
yes,
I mean?
it's a marketing strategy. I don't think people
Yeah,
understand that.
it's true. It's true.
Yes, it is, and it
It's
and
true.
it works, baby. It
It
works.
does.
And it
Mhm.
don't work it for vanity. Y'all can have
Right.
all them subscribers and all that right there, but I got conversions.
Yeah, that's true. And I,
We
I
need
believe
some
it. And
conversions here, baby. For conversions. You want some money? I don't care about me having a TikTok plaque on my wall. I'm all right. I need some money in the bank.
it's true. Because, girl, these bills are real. Okay. We
These
did this
bills
interview.
need
Me,
billing.
me and Anita, we went to go interview this guy who had a radio show. Now he's younger than us. I want to say he's like in his 20s. And so he was talking about, all the things behind the scenes that people don't see. And so he's like, you tell them you got a radio, they're thinking this and that. And so I said, so, how do you keep it all going? How do you, he said, bills are due. He said, I'm keeping it real. It's about them bills. I just had to laugh, but it's true, right? It is true. So, girl, we could be here all day. Tell us about your books, because I want to make sure I talk about everything. Because, you are, the fact that you come and connect with me, I'm honored. You have definitely, you've got your own brand. You doing your own thing, girl. And I'm just honored that you want to connect, and we can grow
I
together.
told you
So
because you know how to act right. Like, no, it's a whole lot of not acting right going on. It really is. And as soon as I sniff it out, I'm gone. And this is how I roll. This is how I roll. And
mhm.
I also have very good discernment at this point. Now my
Amen.
pick was a little wonky before, but I know how to pick folks now. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And they're on the same frequency as me. Now I don't, and
Mhm.
also they allow me to lift them sometimes, right? They know
Amen.
they are open to the lift. Okay. Some
Amen.
people just ain't open to the lift. They want to be
Yeah.
in the pit of despair and they want to stay there. And you can stay there because I ain't finna come get you out of there because you don't want to move. I don't
Exactly.
try to get a lot of folks out of despair, and that's all they do is get back in the hole. So that's
Yeah.
all right. You stay there to somebody who is gonna be good for you to come through to do that. But me, I'm gonna stay over here minding my business. Okay.
It's true.
So let me tell you about my books. Okay, I have a book that's coming out. I'm so excited. I actually have something where I am going to be drawing for a complimentary copy of my new book, which
Oh,
is 100 Unique Counseling Skills Revisited. And the reason why it's called
okay.
Revisited is because I don't know if y'all ever heard of the book E-Myth, but
Yes.
E-Myth is a book and it's E-Myth
Revisited.
Revisited. And when he
If
said
it works,
revisited,
girl, look, don't reinvent the wheel. If it's working, go ahead with it.
listen, I like that revisited. I said revisited. Yes, I'm revisiting it. So I have 5 counseling skills in there, and I'm adding the 6th one, which is holding space, because I just think that's so
Mhm.
imperative. And the tagline or the subtitle of it is Heal Yourself, Ignite the Leader, Grow Your Business. So
Mm.
those are the people who need to read this. It's a guided journal. It really walks you through. If you read it, it will walk you through being being what you need to be in order to influence people in a healthy way instead
Yeah.
of doing harm to people. There's a whole lot of people out here doing rah-rah and showing all this stuff, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they're influencing people to go in a way that is not the right way. If somebody's telling
Mm-hmm.
you should do this, that's not the right way. You got to figure out
Mm-hmm.
what your way is. A person is
Amen.
a part of your life who is actually a soul teacher. They're going to ask you questions about what is your way? What do you want to do? Where are you
Mm-hmm.
going? They're going to ask you these kind of things.
It's true.
And they're going to have you hold space for you to figure out what that is. So that's Honey Unique Counseling Skills. And then I have Be On Top. TOP, which is the try on philosophy. This is my
Huh?
own personal philosophy. And just like Jesus had parables, I have a parable in there for every tenet of the philosophy, which is
Wow.
read the circumstances. Read the circumstances as in are you have oh Lord, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You have exposure. A is alignment, and D is to do no harm. And so I have little stories
Mm.
about my life in there. And I actually got an author who was one of my clients to do that for me. And it's an
Wow.
owl in a little tree. Yeah, because I love empowering people. If you say you gonna do something, you about something, and you sitting there on it, I'm gonna say, where is it?
Right.
When is it
It's
gonna happen?
true.
Let's go. Like you say you an artist, okay, you could illustrate my book. Let's go. And that person
Amen.
came on. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. Mm-hmm.
And
You know.
so and then I have two anthologies that I'm doing right now. One is coming out March 15th called Scattered Pages. And then I
Mm-hmm.
have another anthology, which is affiliated with this movement that I have called the Mom Pride. So, a pride of
Mm.
lionesses hunting together. And we are on LinkedIn, building up our LinkedIn and our KPIs on there. And
Amen.
we're going to create an anthology as called the Mom Way, which is multifaceted overachieving mavens. And
Mm.
we also have a mom summit that's going to be May 10th. So yeah, I have a lot of things brewing, but let me just tell you this one thing. It is ticking below here. Is if you go to my website, which is
Mhm.
www.yourgoalconcierge.com/brand, we were going to have my co-host for this amazing new podcast that we're going to do, Jeff Crosby. He is the bearded black brand nerd. I just love his
Mm.
brand. You
Okay.
I just love his brand. Anyway, we're gonna do a podcast together called Brand Your Way to Fame. Fame, FAME, which is fun, alignment, money, and elevation. So he and I are gonna talk through that. We're gonna write a book and we're gonna do a podcast together. That's gonna launch March the 26th. And so
Girl,
please
you are busy.
go to this link, and it's www.yourgoalconcierge.com/brand and get on the wait list so we can send you out information about that podcast.
I love it, girl. And Val is saying she's writing, doing a journal workshop, so y'all should collab. So you see what I'm saying? Things go on in the
Uh-huh.
DMs, y'all. People don't respond. You know, I this happened the other day. I was on, somebody was live, and I just made some comments, and they introduced me to somebody else, and I end up being on their podcast this week from the DMs, just commenting. So I'm saying, people, all of this is social engagement. People, when you're commenting, that's an opportunity to connect with people. I have done introductions with people. Somebody shows up and, they make a comment. So I introduce them when I get done with the show. So, it's like, that's just how I am. I feel like, if you spent the time to be a part of the conversation, then hey, why not give you an introduction? So I love that.
Exactly. And
But
that's
go
actually
ahead.
what builds the big contracts. It's the
Hmm.
relationships.
So
It is
true.
the relationships. every contract I've ever had is because I had a relationship with that person due to knowing someone else, and they said, "This is it. This is who you need to work with." And I love going into contracts where they already know they just want to know how much I cost. Okay, how much it costs. It feels so good to do that when they have already got a good taste of me, and they say, I just need to have more of her energy, more of her brand, more of what she offers, and I don't have a problem paying for it. That's when you have a good relationship with somebody, and that's what we really should be looking for. And that's exactly what we're doing here with Try on Thriving TV. They're going to get a taste of you. They're going to have your light is going to be shined. You're going to be able to share your brand, your business, and then people are going to be coming to you and say, I know, I want to work with you. Yeah. How much does it cost?
I love that, because I tell people all the time, if you had a brick and mortar, it would be crazy to open up that business and not have a sign out front. Right. I mean, that's what happens when we're not visible. We just like, exactly. I got the business, the inside is good, and nobody knows anything about who you are. They're walking right by your establishment, not knowing anything. And so visibility is so important. And, it's even important to know how you're distributing yourself. You can be on a lot of these social media platforms that are free, but if it's free, are you really thinking that they're working for you, to really get you out there? I mean, how many people are seeing your content? What kind of algorithm is it? I mean, you just don't have control over that. And once you really start understanding how you can convert people when you interact with them, right? When you get people in front of you, they call you, they know who you are, then you're like, hey, it's worth being out here and getting seen because I know how to build relationships. I know how to tell people what I do, and I know how to provide that service. So it's worth it. It makes so much more sense than just spending my time and hours on a platform that may not market me anything, right? At the end of the day. So
speaking of that, platforms, if you are on a platform and you're not paying for it, then you have a big following on there, you're renting them. Okay, because the sucker could just somebody could say no more, click, and it won't be there no more. Okay, and all them folks. So that's why everybody needs an email list. That you say go down in the DMs, baby. I have a blast nurturing my email list. I got 15,000. 15,000, maybe. Okay, we go to Floridian. That's a Floridian manifesting girl. I got 1,500 on my list, and I love each one of them. I actually gained some people with my offerings all the time. But I don't always offer things. It is a love note. I send love notes to my people. For example, Women's History Month is coming. So I'm going to talk to all my ladies all month long, okay? I'm going to talk to them and tell them, how are you making history this month?
Yes.
I know I'm making history by starting my channel, baby. And my anthology's coming out. And I got my podcast coming out.
I mean, girl, you doing it.
Multifaceted mommy over here. Okay?
Yes. And I love it because, one of the things that people miss, and I mean, I was a part of this mindset too, is that you can do more when you collaborate because you're co-creating. I'm not the bottleneck anymore, right? So I can have a lot of different things going on at one time because I'm just required to provide whatever I bring to the table, and so if you are skilled at doing that, you can do that in your sleep on different platforms and different places because you're focusing on you and not trying to micromanage and do all this other stuff with other people, right?
Yeah. Just today, I was talking to my administrator, and she's been in because she's promoting my event, the Keep Your KPIs on Track, and she's been sending out emails and doing different things in order to gain more people to sign up, right? And I said to her, thank you for just going above and beyond and just being proactive to do this. And she's like, thank you for just empowering me to be able to
Right.
explore and not be constrained to like approvals and everything else.
Mhm.
It's because I trust that I hired a dynamic leader. I don't
Amen.
need to micromanage. So she gets to
Mhm.
build us up, the legacy. And that's what you
Amen.
want to be a part of your team, someone who wants to help build your legacy. And that's what I would love to have, people who are wanting to build their legacy. They have been insecure about doing that. They didn't know how to do it, but I will love to highlight you so people can see the direction you're
Mhm.
going and they can get on the road with you towards your vision.
I love that. So tell everybody what you have going on, how they can follow you, because I know you've got stuff on LinkedIn
Yes.
that you got going on. So tell everybody about that before we leave today.
Okay. So I really want people, if you want to talk to me, like my DMs is popping. All right. I have lead generation and I have a lot of interacting with people and asking
Mhm.
really deep questions to know if we're a good fit for each other. So I would love to
Mhm.
interact with you on LinkedIn. Just go on over there, Erica Kesse, Kesse. Go on over there. I got red. I have on red because my brand color's red. Another thing, folks need to stay in their brand colors. Anyway, I've red on and I have a yellowish gold background. You can't miss it, okay? You can't miss me. And so go there, all right. And then also my YouTube channel. It
Yeah.
is, you see this right here, your gold concierge down here. Just go to
Mhm.
YouTube and put in your gold concierge, right? Or you can just
Mhm.
go, you put youtube.com/@ your gold concierge. I am building that up. I got a lot of things going into that sucker. Like I got tons of things going into my YouTube on a regular basis because I stream into it for everything I got going on. I got a Sunday Ruby
Mhm.
thing, which is Ruby AI. I'm a brand influencer with them. I have the Mom Summit that is going on, so I just streamed in there with them. I also have Playing with Ruby, which is another little thing where that's all I'm doing is showing people when I play with Ruby, like building newsletters or building different things.
Mm.
I am building that up a channel so you can just go and look at it and get the results that you're looking for with this particular AI. So I'm building that up, really working on increasing the subscribers there and getting people to watch the videos so we can get to what is it? Monetization. And
Mhm.
then I also have a Try on Thriving podcast. Okay. So I have this is
Mhm.
for the TV, but I have
Right.
a podcast. And
I
podcast
know.
is free. Okay. It's free, but you gotta be a CEO. Okay.
Right.
Have to
Okay.
be a thriving CEO, and that's what we're doing on that podcast, which is going to be a part of my promo packages. So
Mhm.
you can go over there and see the CEOs that has come to the show. We've had such a great conversation. Oh, don't you love having those conversations that just lift you and ignite you and inspire
Yes.
you? That's what these conversations are about. So excited about that. So you can go over there and see that podcast too. All on that channel, all on that YouTube. So go over there and see all that stuff. Okay.
I love it. I love it. You see what I'm saying, y'all? I'm telling y'all, she already had her stuff going on. Okay. She is bringing some stuff to the table. So, if this is you, right? I mean, everybody's different. I didn't even think I was going to be on TV. And here I am on TV. But, if you have a message and you are passionate about sharing that message, you might want to be a guest on Try on Thriving TV because it just may be what you need in order to level up in 2025. A lot of times we discount ourselves or we just stay in that same pool and we never go deeper in somewhere else. And so the only person stopping us is ourselves. So
Exactly.
I really have enjoyed this conversation because I am fired up. I am like, look, I got to put some stuff on my calendar because girl, you go over here doing all this stuff. But I just want to say that, when you collaborate though, it gives you that ability to just keep moving, right? it's just like getting a jump start. You have the energy, and then you get with somebody else, and it's like, next thing you know, you're doing way more than even what you thought you could do, because you're collaborating with the right energy. So I am so glad that you are part of the network, and I'm looking forward to all the great people that are going to connect with you, and your summit, the book, girl. I'm just excited. We're going to be having book signings and different creative ways to definitely promote you with all the things that you're doing, because your message is one that everybody needs to hear, especially women. We have to learn how to strategically, have our energy. We have to learn how to work together. We have to learn how to be confident about what value we have. I mean, so many things, girl, we could go on. That's a daggone class right there. But I have really enjoyed this time with you, and want to remind everybody that March 15th is the launch for Try on Thriving TV. And so we're going to be having some details coming out around how you can register and join us for that launch. But I want to give you the opportunity to share any final words for today.
Oh, so the final words for today and everybody is try on this affirmation. Everything for my thriving flows to me.
Mm.
Try it on.
Everything for my thriving flows to me. I love that. That is awesome. Well, we have had a great time with you, Erica, girl. Looking forward to the content, the pictures, the praise reports while you're in Chicago. Again, if you guys are going to be in that area, reach out. You never know. It might not be in alignment to be on the show, but still networking, because she's got summits, she's got books. I mean, she's got a lot going on, podcasts. So it may not be this, but it could be something else, right? So
Mhm.
we want to thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to follow Keep It Real TV, because that is actually the micro network that we're both collaborating on the Zondra TV network. We're on Roku, we're on Amazon Fire, we're on Apple TV, we're on Soflix, which is in Africa. We're on we just have a merger, that press release for March 22nd with another network out of California. So, we are just moving, y'all. So we
Yes.
want to thank y'all for joining us today. And if you have any questions that maybe we didn't get to, that we didn't address, or something later on, if you're watching the replay, put it in the thread and we will reach out to you, because we definitely are in alignment with relationship building and being able to answer your questions and help you to level up and be empowered to be all that you can be. So thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time.